We just bought some land.
Sight unseen. Did we make a mistake?
I don't know.
Or did we do
We'll
good?
see.
So we're here to talk a little bit about what we just did. I don't know if anybody on here that's watching is familiar with back tax sales.
So I bought 15 acres on a back tax sale in 2019. So I have experience with how the back tax sale and everything is. So our local county does something called a back tax sale. And that is where properties that have not had their property taxes paid in years, they get put up for auction and sold to the highest bidder so that the county can recoup their money from the unpaid taxes. A lot of times these are properties that the owner has died and either they don't have any heirs or their heirs don't pay the property taxes. And
or
then,
don't want unwanted
or
properties.
Yeah, or don't
they
want
just
the
don't
property.
care and don't want to redeem them.
Mm-hmm. So then the properties come up on this back tax auction. So this year for the back tax auction, there was about like 60
some properties.
There was a lot because of COVID. They didn't do last year. So there was 3 years worth of back taxes, which was 2012, 13, and 14. So there was a lot of extra properties because of that.
So here in our county, they have a redemption period of a year. The owner can come in and pay that back tax to redeem that property. So if you bid on a piece of property and actually purchased it, you would get your money back with 12% interest at that point if they had come in and paid that back tax plus the 12% interest.
So we went through all the properties that, there was probably 60 or 70 properties.
That wore my brain out.
So we spent hours and hours going through all of the properties because some of them had addresses, some of them just had like map and parcel numbers, so we had to go through online and look up each individual piece of property and see if it was something that we were interested in or not. The pieces we weren't interested in, we just marked off, and then any ones that we were interested in, we wrote out a list so that we could go and look at them and see if we were still interested in them or not. We looked at a few that we were like, nah, not good locations, not good places.
Some of the houses are just run down so much we didn't want a chance of putting so much money into a piece of property and time. We don't have a lot of time to fix up a house, so we're wanting something fairly nice.
And good locations.
Good locations.
And not too far away.
Neighborhoods, we try to see if their neighborhoods were okay. We didn't really want a trashy neighborhood if we bought a piece of property.
And we narrowed it down to about 7 properties that we were interested in. Some of them had houses, and then there was a couple that didn't have, it was just land.
We wanted to be able to improve the property, possibly put a house on it, rent it out, or sell it for an income, because we want to try to diversify our investments and we want to be able to have income coming in and not have to do a lot of work to do it. So we figured like possibly renting out a trailer. If it's not that great a shape, no big deal. If the renters destroy it, we're not out much. So that's kind of what we're thinking when we went into this.
We were looking at long-term investment or possibly more of a short-term and do like a house flip. But most of the houses that were on this back tax were in really rough condition. So we narrowed it down to 7 pieces of properties, and then day of the auction there was a couple that were paid off. So there was only like actually I think 4 of the properties that we were seriously interested in that ended up coming up on the auction. So we really didn't know what to expect from the auction, because when I bought my piece of property there was not a whole lot of people there. A lot of the properties didn't get bid up very much. So I was able to not pay very much money for the property that I bought. So we didn't know how this auction was going to go. We figured it would probably go a lot higher because of land prices right now are crazy.
Yeah.
So we went into it not knowing what to expect. But we had the 4 pieces that we were really interested in.
Yeah, and we had our top bid amount, what we're willing to pay, and unfortunately on one of them we ended up going over that.
So anyways, day of the auction, we were super nervous about how it was going to go and if we were going to get anything. They held the auction in the courtroom of the courthouse, and it was packed.
It was. There was so many people there, and they were like, man, we are not going to get anything.
We were like, okay, this isn't going to go well.
And prices did go high.
Mm-hmm. A lot of the places got bid up a lot. There was some larger parcels of land, like 50 acres. Mm-hmm. That one got bid up to like 80 or 90,000.
There was nothing on that property.
Yeah, it was really variety. There was some larger parcels, and then there were just little random. There was one piece that went up for auction. It was just like an acre, but it was in the middle of the woods with no road access or anything. Some of those pieces didn't get bid on, so if nobody wanted that piece of property, then became the county's property, and then from that point, I don't know what the county does with it, if they try to sell it or what happens to it. But there were a couple pieces that didn't get sold, but most everything sold, and sold for pretty
well.
higher than what we expected, because you only have to bid the starting bid. So how the auction works is the amount of back taxes that are owed is what the starting bid is. So if no one else bids against you, you can literally buy a piece of property for, you know, just a couple $1,000s with all the fees and everything. But then some of the pieces really got bid up quite a bit. Some of the places we were interested in just went pretty high. And then there was one trailer house that we were really interested in, and our top bid was 5,000.
Yeah.
Or was it 4?
Maybe it's 4.
I think it was like 4,000, and it ended up getting bid up to 5 or something, and Obie quit bidding at that point. And anyways, as the auction progressed, we're seeing it's not looking too good or promising that we're going to get anything, and the pieces that we were interested in have been sold for a lot higher than what we wanted. So we were kind of going through, and it's like, oh great, we're not going to end up with anything, and we wanted to get something, you know. Why not?
All the time we put into it.
There were a couple pieces of properties that didn't sell. I knew there was one piece coming up that was near us. We weren't interested in it when we were looking through the properties, so we
didn't go look at it.
Yeah, so we weren't sure where. I had a good idea where the property was because I looked at it online, but we never went and looked at the property just because we weren't interested in it. And it was coming up to be bid on soon, and I kind of flipped through because they had a little booklet of all the properties, and I kind of looked at it and looked at Obie. I was like, if nobody else bids on this, maybe you should just bid on it. You know, it was near us. It's like 15 minutes away.
Yeah,
maybe a little less, but it's under an acre. So I was just like, well, maybe if nobody else bids on it, you just bid on it. So it came up, the starting bid was $1,100 something. Obie bid on it, and nobody else bid on it, so it sold. So I kind of looked at Obie, I was like, what did we just buy?
Yeah, 'cause we don't know. I mean, we didn't know what the property shape was.
Yeah. We didn't know exactly where it was.
It might be, but yeah, it was quite a shot. It's like, what are we doing?
I was like, what did we just buy? This piece of property, like I said, is about a little under 15 minutes away from us. And it's under an acre. It's 0.88 acres. So it's just a really small piece of property. But it is road front property.
Which is a plus.
Yes.
For what we're thinking about doing with it.
We have plans for this, but we'll get to that a little bit later. So we ended up buying it for a total of
$1,172.37.
So that was the starting bid. That goes to cover all of the taxes and fees for 2012, 13, and 14. And the case of this piece of property, it looks like the owner passed away and his heirs didn't pay the taxes. Or didn't want the property or whatever. So anyways, that's why it came up on auction. We do have to go in and pay the rest of those taxes from 2015 to 2022. Those haven't been paid either, but they're not going to be as expensive because the fees acquired each month. There's a percentage that's added onto the fees.
So after the auction, well, the next day we drove out to the property to kind of see what we got ourselves into. And it was better than we thought. It's a nice little spot. I mean, it's right on the main highway. Well, I say main highway. It's a paved road, so it's not gravel.
Got electric lines.
It's got electric lines. We thought possibly it has water and septic, but we're not sure. We ruled out water, but we think it may have septic somewhere.
But there's city water on that road, so.
Correct. So it's easy to tie in. So
we've got some plans for this piece. When we first bought it, we were thinking about like maybe we could buy a trailer and pull it on and just do like a long-term rental with it. But then I had this epiphany. Is that a word? I don't know if that's a word. I had this thought that come into my head. I came up with doing a RV hookup spot. So this piece of property is not very far from a park, and it draws a lot of kayakers and rock climbers and hikers. So it's a really big thing around here because I think it's rated one of the top.
We looked at it. It's like 27th or something.
Well, it's rated as like one of the top.
It's rated highly for rock climbing.
Yeah,
in
so
the area.
It draws a lot of visitors into this area, but there's not much for hotels or places to stay. And as far as I'm aware, there's really not any RV hookup spots in this area because it's so close to that park. But we're thinking we could maybe do some RV hookups and rent those out and just see how it goes. If it doesn't do well, we could always, again, pull a trailer on and
rent out full time or sell the property to somebody that wants to try to deal with it.
Yeah. And we think we could get at least 2, hopefully 3 spots because, again, it's a small piece of property.
I think it's a win-win either way.
Yeah.
Sure.
It wasn't maybe not the best deal because it's under an acre. Around here, acreage is going for probably
anywhere from 3 to 5.
Depending on the piece.
Depending on the location and
So
piece.
it's not too bad of a price. So there'll be the year of redemption period. And then after this year's complete, so in December of 2023, long as no one has redeemed it, which I would assume no one would, we will get the deed written up into our name and the property.
We'll cut the silver tape.
We will officially own the piece of property and we can begin doing work and stuff.
Well, that'll be fun. We'll get our dozer.
Yeah, so we'll just have to clean up the property a little bit, gravel it, put in a septic, get a meter box for electricity and get a water.
You're probably looking at around anywhere from $7,000 to $12,000 to get it set up with the septic, with the electrical, and thankfully in our county you can do your own septic.
Just have to get a permit.
Yeah, you only can do one a year. Personally, we'll be able to do that. We already put one in for where we're going to build our house, so a little bit of experience there. So shouldn't be too bad this second go around if I don't hit rock again.
Yeah. So anyways, we're really excited about it.
Just keep chipping away. Ching, 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 ching.
So I think that about covers it. If you have any questions about back tax sales or anything, we're obviously experts. So leave a comment down below and we can try to answer any questions you have. So now we're going to move on into the comment section. And this is Obie's first time joining me for that. So the first comment is on my last video my previous video about how much money I made flipping furniture this year. So Hilvi Nyberg says, love your videos and are so happy that you find the time to do this and take us along. Good work this year.
Thank you, Hildy. You're amazing.
I do wonder sometimes how I have the time. I make the time. Definitely don't get paid enough for my time, but oh well.
So Michael Munn says, sounds like you had a good year for doing something you enjoy in your spare time. I love your channel and videos. Your honesty is so refreshing. Best of luck in 2024 and have a Merry Christmas. Seems like that's off a year.
I was going to say, I think it's next year's 2023, isn't it?
Yes.
Maybe I did say 2020 in my last video and I was like, it's not 2020.
But thank you. We appreciate it.
For that.
Keep commenting on our videos. We enjoy that and it really helps our channel. So
and I like being able to share honesty with you guys because I know you guys like honesty.
Who doesn't?
So Faith Price said, always encouraging to see a young person looking for ways to be productive. Keep up the good work. You can take ugly old pieces and make them beautiful. Keep up the good work. So thank you, Faith, for that.
Nice. You're amazing, Faith, by the way, if you see this.
All right, so that's it for the comment section. Again, if you ever want to be included in this, be sure to leave your comments down in my videos. I do read all your guys' comments and I really appreciate them. Definitely helps out our channel.
It does.
So, all right, well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. There will be kind of like a part 2 because we bought something else at that back tax sale.
I think I mentioned it.
I'll edit it out. But anyways, if you want to find out what we bought,
Little more expensive, guys.
a little bit more.
My pocketbook is like, it was there and now it's like there.
We might have regrets on this purchase.
Do we get it or do we not?
I don't know. If you want to see what we bought, be sure to subscribe and be on the
Keep
lookout
watching.
for more videos.
This will be a good one.
Oh yeah.